Hi, Tim Lechtenberg here to inform you on how to have the perfect recipe for a comparison writing. The first thing you need to do when writing a comparison is make sure you choose two items that are similar. For example, you can compare two cars. However, it would not work if you wanted to compare a car and a house because those two items are not as similar. So, first thing you do is you throw in the right items. After that, you need to develop good comparisons by finding the well chosen details such as size of the car, price of the car, and if the car is a good fit for you. For example, if you have a big family but you want to buy a sports car, I do not think that would not really work very well. But if you chose for example, a minivan with a large family, that would be perfect for you and your family. Next thing you need to do is work on how to organize your comparison. There are two types. One is block writing, which is you write everything together. Like if it's a car, you would say everything that you liked about that one car, such as the size, the price, the color, and then after you do that, you would compare the other car, always doing the same thing, the size, the price, and the color. Or you have alternating, which is you would do one car, the size, and then the other car, the size, and so on and so forth. So you would do, for alternating, it would be size of one car, size of the other car, price of one car, price of the other car, color of one car, color of the other car. So after you choose that, you would throw that in there, like so. Now, you would go, after you write a rough draft of your comparison, you would go back and make sure that you would read it and make sure that one, you are not skewed where you say more about one car than the other one, where you would have to one car but the other one, or your information is skewed and you're not given the same type of information for one or the other. They have to be equally matched. And then you would go back and make sure that the two items you are comparing are good matches for each other. Like I said, you would have two cars, not a car and a house, because that would not work. It's also important that for your final step, you show that you do not just write a comparison to prove an argument, but you have a good purpose, which means you are not just showing that you want to win an argument saying one is the other. You have to have a good purpose, which is making sure that everyone knows what you are trying to prove from the beginning. And after you decide your purpose, you read through your essay and make sure that they match the purpose you were trying to do. And after that, if you would please pause the video and read the essay on page 162 and discuss what the things we have just talked about. Now that you have read the essay, I will recap on what we just talked about. 1, did you see the two items they chose for comparison are a good match? 2, did they have a good well-chosen details for comparison? 3, how did they organize their comparison? Did they have alternating or block form? Did they make sure not to inform more about one item than the other? Did they have a clear choice of purpose for this writing? And finally, here are some questions for you to answer as an audience. So now that I've shown you, it's a good choice. Now that I have shown you some of the good ways, if you throw all these items together, at the end you will have a perfect comparison essay. Thank you. So, to review, when writing a comparison, always remember to, the first thing, plan. Identify items for comparison, establish purpose for comparison, identify and analyze audience, and then you brainstorm. Ideas for each comparison, make observations of items if possible, create a rough draft or table. Create table laying out points of comparison and details. Determine pattern, block or point by point. Create a rough draft. Introduction establishes purpose for comparison and main points. Body develops each point of comparison with detail using pattern. Conclusions may vary. Reaffirm the main point. Create a rough draft. Revise. Re-brainstorm points of comparison. Does everything fit the purpose? Add additional similarities or differences as needed. Cut points that do not fit. Test organizations, especially transitions that are critical. And finally, proofread. After reading the example essay, please answer the following questions.